Hey guys, it's Kenny with Ready Set Inc. And here we have the anti-meta evasive deck. This deck list is brought to us by Gaming Inkwell on dreamborn.inc, and I had a blast using it. I was able to play some matches while my baby was sleeping, and I was able to record them and eventually do a voiceover over. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and see the couple things that this Ruby Emerald deck can do. And if you guys enjoy it, go ahead and click that like button, click that subscribe button, and tell me what it is that you liked about this deck. Alright, let's jump into our first game of Ruby Emerald Evasive. I came across this deck on dreamborn.inc and it looked like something that I wanted to give a shot, and why not record it as well. So I pre-recorded these games and I'll hopefully be able to try to recall what kind of thought process I was going through, and or watch with you guys and just see if I could have done something different looking back at it now. So we get a Steel Amber opponent, and we give two Goofies, a Sisu, Maui, Pegasus. So pretty much I just want to look for a cheaper drop. I want the Sisu, I want the Goofy, and we got the Flynn Rider, so we at least get a 2-drop here. I probably want to look into, I feel like everyone wants to get the Diablo play out because it's such a card advantage that you're hurting yourself not going for it. It looked like there I was checking which drops would benefit from the Flynn Rider ability, and both were actually pretty low. So Minnie's a 1-3 and Goofy's a 2-4, so it doesn't give me a lot of strength advantage over cards. So now I have to decide on which one to ink. Looks like I go ahead and ink the Mini. I really want the Goofy to pop off, and I don't see it played as much, and it's pretty much been my goal to try and get him to work. And since I have two Diablos, I know I have a 3-drop ready. With the bare necessities, I thought I didn't have a card for them to discard, and then I remembered I saw the brawl. So unfortunate for them, I draw into another brawl. We use that for ink, and it is time for the Diablo to come out. And with no presence on board, I go ahead and just quest the Flynn. Usually you're not looking to quest the Flynn, but I had no reason not to. So they dropped the Aerial, so that means they're looking for whatever song that she'll be able to sing next turn. And she whiffed, so that was very lucky for me. So we're at 3 ink, and we usually always want to ink. Go ahead and get the draw, or the quest from Diablo. Looks like I'm deciding on if I want to use the Flynn for ink. So we dropped the Goofy, even though he has a rush ability and I don't need to use it now. I think my decision there was to just have another character on board. You saw I got my draw off for the Diablo ability, so there's that. And I lose both my Flynn and my Diablo, which I was thinking that's why I was glad I didn't play the second Diablo instead of the Goofy, but it doesn't matter anyways, as they also get a Triton's Decree to clear my board. Looks like they were slowly able to ink, so now they're at 3 of 4, and they pass. Here I am stuck with 2 uninkable Sisus and 1 uninkable Diablo. So I ink the Tink so I don't miss out on any turns of inking, and I just play the Diablo and pass. I think the main goal here was to look for the card draw, so to utilize Diablo and help me draw more cards. They dropped the trainer fill, so they'll be able to gain lore on heroes coming into play. And it looks like I lose my Diablo. I get a 1-drop Curse Merfolk and a Sisu. The Sisu's ability doesn't get to do anything because they have no 1-strength cards, but that's alright. I just need bodies on board to pose a threat. And they gave me a full hand, and now I have the 8-drop Sisu that I can shift for 6. They are also at 6 ink now, and we'll see what it is they like to do. So they go for the new Floodborn Aladdin and a Robin Hood. So that's 2 heroes. They get 2 lore for Phil. Piglet also gets a lore from Phil, and Piglet is now activated as a 3 ink or 3 lore quester. But I remember this now is I sort of laugh at myself as I know I have the big Sisu to clear board. And there it is. And it feels really good to be on this end of the Sisu. A lot of times it's usually being dropped on me and I lose all my characters because I play cheaper cards. So it was pretty crazy to be able to do that to someone else. They go for the hard play on the big Cindy. Looks like they chose to challenge my Merfolk, and because of that they had to discard a card. And Cinderella has a +2 resist, and there is their 2 bodies on board. I think here I was trying to do the math to maximize the most characters that I would like to get out and which one I would need to ink. So I dropped the Flynn Rider here in the Lumiere, and the Lumiere increases all my characters by 1 strength, which helps my Sisu become stronger than their Cinderella. So now my Flynn Rider can gain 3 lore passively every single turn, which will be great for me. And I choose not to quest to try and guarantee I can get that 3 lore from Flynn. Looks like I just checked and I have 8 available lore on board. I'm not sure if that counts the Flynn Rider 3. I'll have to do that math on that. So that was 3 lore, 8, and then they concede. It was really nice to... I really like the Lumiere ability of buffing all my characters. And here we end up getting a rematch for the second match of this video. So we almost get to play a best of 3 pretty much and see if with no surprises, if I can still get this deck to pop up. Looks like we kept the 2 drops, Flynn and Ursula. I end up getting another Flynn and another Ursula, but I do have a 1-drop here with the Pegasus. Theory-wise, I've been a fan of the Lumiere. With characters like Goofy that I really want to play, Lumiere is going to help that Goofy be a little bit stronger to take out a bit more characters. And there is the Shift Pegasus, which is always great. So that will be a good 3-drop to get out. They go for the Pirate Piglet. I get another Shift Pegasus, which I only need 1 for now, so that becomes ink. I go ahead and play this 2-drop to hand check, and I find 1 Whole New World. And I saw the Ariel there, so I know that she'll be able to grab another song once she's played. With the Piglet out now, they can play a character and then gain the max lore from Piglet. The Ariel gets played. And another whiff. That's back-to-back games of whiffs, I just noticed. That's pretty crazy. They seem to be not running a large amount of songs then, or they're just unlucky. I think we just inked the Wildcat there. And now we get to shift the Pegasus, give my board evasive, and I choose to swing at the Piglet because he was more of a threat than me just gaining lore. So they're at 3 now. I'm wondering if they're going for the shift Robin Hood, but challenging wise they can't do anything this turn because of my Pegasus. So they will have to quest. There's a Diablo. Still got 2 Flynn's though, so I'd probably want to utilize one of those copies for ink. There it is. So now I'm at 4, so I can play 2 2-drops if I want to. Ilumineers to buff all my characters on board. So now Pegasus is a 4-3 and Ursula becomes a 2-3. And with that math, I am able to take out their Robin Hood that they just shifted, which in my mind was worth to get rid of that character. Robin Hood gets to draw a card when he is banished during a challenge. And they play Triton's Degree, so I get to choose which character I want to banish. Looks like I chose Ilumineers, so Flynn Rider will be my lore gainer, and I'll be able to hopefully get better profit off of him. They still have 3 ink. One last hope. So it looks like they popped the song to give their Ariel a resist and able to challenge characters that are ready. So now we just gotta play our cards, and we are having a top deck battle. I get 2 evasives on board though, which looks pretty good for me. They quest and pass, which means they probably got a 5 or higher character that they're not able to play. I get out another evasive, so I get out that mini evasive, and now I get to profit from the Diablo abilities. They ink an Aladdin, so they have a Piglet. This is the legendary Piglet who can challenge cards that are ready while they have no cards in their hand, but fortunately for them is Piglet does not have evasive, so these 3 cards are safe.
No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life.
Here I'm trying to decide on if 2 bodies are better than the 1 Tinkerbell. Looks like I go with the 4-drop Tinkerbell, and I just continue questing.
You have something that's going on in your life right now
quick math check there. They're able to get 4 lore a turn, and I was able to get 6.
A reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. Or you can have this feeling anytime you choose.
There's another aerial and another whiff. So I'm able to get a brawl and a sisu. I don't think the brawl does 3, it does 2 or less, so I really wish I could target that piglet, but I was not able to. Have to choose between them, and it looks like I choose the brawl to get rid of one of their characters without me losing one of mine. So now we take a small lore lead and we get another Diablo draw. We pulled the 5-drop evasive Ray, and I think it was a set 1 card. Might have been set 2, but and they are able to top deck a grab your sword, so I go ahead and lose all my characters, and now it's not looking good for me. And at this point I realize that Piglet is a 3 lore character who has a resist 1, which means I have no characters that can take out this Piglet. There's no answers. If I was able to pull a Tremaine or a Medusa, that would have been great and it would have saved me, but instead I get a Brawl who barely misses the mark. So there I am at 18 lore, and I have no answer. Go ahead and play out my turn. I get the Brawl out, ink the Ray, get the Sisu, and pass. And I could concede here, but I usually always let them get the chance to finish the game themselves. And that was that. So it was a great deck to play with, and I went ahead and recorded a couple more matches after this that I'll be able to also turn into videos. And I ended up going 6-1, I believe. So this was probably the only loss I believe I took that night running this deck, which was awesome and made me super confident about running this at my locals. So go ahead and keep an eye out for those future videos. I'll be able to get those out and show you some more ways that the deck was able to be maneuvered.